What's up, everybody? Blackacre here. I wanted to do an impromptu lesson. Figured since next week we're doing the little sweep picking Slipknot Sunday, and we're not doing one this week, I figured I'd take it back to the self-titled record and start doing some lessons that I have been talking about doing but just haven't gotten around to yet. So today we're going to do Liberate. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the weirdness. As I said, my name is Blackacre, and my channel is mainly dedicated to covering and teaching Slipknot songs as accurately as I can. And I always try to do Jim's parts just because I connect to his guitar playing more. So that's what we're going to do today. And as my normal disclaimers for my lessons go, I'm just teaching what I played in the cover. I don't know if that's 100% accurate. I would love to find out someday, but I put as much, effort and research into it as possible. So I hope it's a good, representation of the song, and you guys can enjoy playing along to it. Also, I'm in drop B, just A 440 drop B. There's no, on the record they tune a little sharp with drop B, but for lesson's sake, again, just straight up drop B. Another thing I'm excited about is I'm trying to step up my game, trying to learn how to live stream a little better, and with this, my new kind of lesson format, I'm able to talk and play the guitar tone that you hear or similar to what you hear in my videos. So from now on, you won't have to deal with crappy practice amp audio. So let's get into the song. So Mick starts this one off. He always goes, I believe it, at least in the videos I've seen. So Jim, when he comes in, I played it up on the 13th fret of the low 6th string. Now, I've seen him live in videos where he'll alternate between the two. He might do and go back and forth, so it doesn't really matter. I don't think it's the same note. Obviously, the 6th string's a little thicker, so it gives a little bit different tone than the 5th string. And obviously, the 5th string's wound a little tighter. So anyway, it doesn't really matter, but I'm just going to show it at the 13th fret of the low 6th string. So all that is 13, and then the rest are just open 6th string. A little bouncy rhythm. And that tail end is just going to be one power chord on the low 2 strings, 1, and then open. So up to speed sounds something like this. All right, and then pretty conveniently, that goes into the first chorus, which is that same exact pattern, except we're just doing 1 and open on power chords rather than 13 to open single note. It's the same note, it's just an octave. Sorry. Right, so that's just going to be, like I said, the same thing, 1 open, so slow. And this one, like, what I did in the cover is a very, very slight palm mute, because it can kind of get away from you if you don't palm mute at all. Just that kind of sounds crappy in my opinion. I just did a real light touch on it. All right, so, and then in the middle of that, I also throw in a harmonic slide, so I'll play it slow. Okay, and that just repeats, so I don't feel like I have to spend too much amount of time on that one. But what I will show is that harmonic slide. I don't know if I've ever explained that before on the channel. Basically what that is, I'm on the 3rd string and I'm just putting a real light touch on it, basically like you would to sound any other harmonic. But just keeping that same pressure and just alternate picking up the neck. It's going to sound different harmonics, obviously at the different frets, and it sounds awesome, and Jim does it a lot, especially live. So I think I heard that on, one of the many live videos and just decided to adopt that for my cover. So again, slow, this is what that sounds like. All right. And then the next part is going to be I kind of call it like a false start because it introduces the main verse riffs, but it kind of goes back before it goes into the full blown first verse. So that part is this. So you're going to slide down, 1 to open on the low 2 strings, power chords, and then it's a real quick chug, but it's going to do that a lot throughout the song. It's a real quick open, 1 open. So far slow we have, and then 4 to 3 on the low 6 string, palm muted. So, and then this is going to be a trill, or whatever you want to call it, hammer on pull off, between the 5th and 8th strings, 5th and 8th frets on the low 6 string. All right, so again, what we have so far, and then you're gonna do another 1 to open on the low 2 strings, and then another 2 chugs on the low 6 string, and then, sorry, I lost my place. So let's do, so far we have this. And then that 1 open, and then the chugs. And then 4, 2 steps on that. And then back to, all right, so I know that was a little confusing. Let me play the whole thing slow. Okay, one more time slow, just to clarify. Okay, and that brings us into the first verse. And that first verse is going to be the same thing that I just showed you with the 5 to 8. The only thing that's going to change, there's 2 main things. The first thing is that on the second time, instead of going 5 to 8, you're going to go 6 to 9. So that's going to sound like this. I'll just play that slow since I already showed you the rest of the riff. I'll just show you in succession what that sounds like. So. All right, and then here is where it picks up a little bit, and it's going to be the same exact riffs. You're just going to add chugs in between, just open, low 2 strings. That's going to sound like this. All right, and that's going to take you into another chorus, and I already showed you guys all those parts, so I won't be going over that again. I'll put timestamps in here, so if you need to go back, there'll be a slider at the bottom, and there should be like a menu that pops up too, which is pretty cool. All right, so next up is going to be the next part I need to show you is going to be the bridge, which is very, very simple. All it is just going from B to C, or, well, that would be it if it was in A440 like I am. So it's just open on the low 2 strings and then 1 on the open 2 strings. Not the open 2 strings, just the bottom 2 strings. So it's going to be... Okay, and then you're going to do that for a while, and then you have to listen for it on the record, but then it eventually moves up to octaves. So that's going to be 5 on the 5th string, and then 7 on the 3rd string. It would be like a D shape if we were in standard tuning. And you're just gonna move that up 1 fret. They use that a lot. Okay, that part's pretty simple. I don't feel like I need to spend too much time on that. It's just open to 1. Sorry. And then 5 to 6 on the low, on the 5th string, 5th fret, 3rd string, 7th fret, and then up to 6 and 8. All right, and then next up is a part that I get asked about every once in a while, and it's that little, I guess you could call it the, slower part of the breakdown, bridge, whatever. And it's where Jim's playing a pretty mysterious sounding, kind of underwatery effect. And what I used in my cover, and I'll try to do the same effects for this lesson so you can get an idea of what I did, is a little digital delay, a little bit of chorus with the depth really high up, because that gives you that kind of underwatery, mysterious kind of slow motion. I don't know how to describe it. It's just this like floaty sound. And then also a little bit of, not flanger, phaser. So all those combined sound like this with the little riff, lick, whatever you want to call it. And all it is this is probably the easiest part of the song, because just one note. Wait a minute, hold up. Okay, so that's going to be 4 on the 3rd string, and then open on the 2nd string. All right, and that's just going to... Okay, you're just going to play that for a while, and then you'll hear when it changes to the next part, which I'll go over shortly. So also what I did during that, I think, was like real small micro bends, just to make it even sound more mysterious and kind of gross but beautiful at the same time. I think Jim's like weird effects like that are really good at doing that, where mix are just disgusting, which is awesome. That's his style. But Jim's are more like a little more pleasing on the ear, I think. But anyway, but I would just do a little bit of bend, just since they're the same note. If you bend one out, it sounds cool together. So that would be something like this. Okay, and then that brings us into the last part of the song, which is just going to be 2, just power chords on the low 2 strings. So it's going to be 2 to 1, and then open to 1. So slow, that sounds like this. Funnily enough, I say slow, it's probably the actual tempo of the song. But you get the idea, it's pretty simple. And then eventually it goes just the, you'll mute in between. Okay. All right, that's it. That's Liberate. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoy this new, kind of technique that I'm using for my lessons. And yeah, I just appreciate you guys watching, and I hope to give you more lessons more frequently now that this actually sounds pretty good, I think. And like I said, I can use the actual effects I used in my covers, so I can kind of give you guys a behind the scenes of what exactly I did, every note that I played and every effect that I use and all that stuff. So again, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you soon.